some minor technical mistakes there. Good evening to everyone. Welcome to Spurs Vision TV, and of course, good afternoon, good morning, and good night, wherever to all those guys who are wherever you are around the world. Right. Just one. Waiting for my guests to pop in. Right, and I don't like to be late, so usually I'm quite particular about these things. So, guys, the international break has come and has gone. We are all waiting for this weekend where the EPL starts back again, right? When EPL starts back again. So, especially being a Spurs fan, right? Just hold on. Let me wait for a while Keshav comes in. Hi, Keshav.
Hi, hi.
Yeah, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, yes.
All right, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I can hear you clearly too. How have you been doing, Keshav?
Okay, good. All
Yeah,
good.
I'm sure you're good, right? You beat Ipswich 4-1, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. 2 weeks ago,
uh,
yeah.
two weeks of the international break and all that, right? All right. Today it's just you and I, right?
Yeah.
We'll just go through it, and because it's West Ham and us, and we're at home, and you're coming to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, right? At White Hart Lane, or it's called White Hart Lane Stadium, whatever. Just it's branded Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Why don't we just go back a bit to review some games? All right. This is the first one, right? Brighton Hove Albion 3, Spurs 2. Uh, your thoughts on this game? All right.
Um, I will. Yeah, I watched this. I actually watched the full game. I was quite in the first. I think 45 minutes. I thought Brighton were a bit sloppy, and they were a bit slow, and I think their tempo wasn't there in the first half, and I think Spurs capitalized on that, and Spurs um, played very well in that aspect. And also Spurs managed to press very well, especially with their key players like Brennan Johnson. He played very well in the first half, and Tottenham caused a lot of problems to Brighton, and Brighton didn't make the extra final pass to make it through sometimes, and they struggled in that first half a lot. They couldn't make it to the front line wingers and all. And then the second half, um, Brighton were trailing from yeah, goals, and then I mean I don't know was it 2 goals down or 1 goal? I forgot.
Yeah, 2 goals down.
Two
Yeah,
goals down.
we were 2 goals up. That's why we
Yeah,
are so
2 goals
upset. Yes,
down.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then Brighton. Yeah, Brighton found the way back, and then after that, Spurs just became Spurs lah. They I don't know lah. You know lah. They defensively
I mean, what
not
I
play and
mean,
all.
what are your thoughts, right? How can one team going into halftime being 2-0 up, right,
Mm,
and end up being actually smacked like that against? I know
mm,
uh, we've got all the unsavory records in EPL and all that, right? We are
mm.
the only team at the moment to lose 10 games, right?
Yeah.
By being above, 2 goals and ahead, right, and to lose a game. I've seen it before. We've done it in
Mm,
Manchester United. So that's how the tag came around. That word, right, which I
yeah.
don't like to use that much.
Yeah.
But the thing is that, what are your thoughts? I mean, how can 11 players going into
Mm,
the second half, right, being two
mm,
goals up, just lose everything like that? In a sense,
mm,
the action wasn't there, the understanding wasn't there, right? Yeah, big up, Mr. K. Big up. Hope you're doing well. Right, the connection wasn't there, and
mm,
things just we just crumbled and folded over. Right? And the worst part is that our manager coming up after the game, giving his press conference, he said that we weren't competitive enough, we weren't there, and we didn't deserve the win, right? And making excuses of, if we made even if we made changes, it wouldn't matter. Come on,
mm,
that is totally illogical, right?
mm,
Yeah, and even Mr. K says that, right? We lost to MU by 4 goals in the second half during that 3-0 up, yeah, during Manchester United in the first half.
mm. Yeah.
But the thing is that
Mm,
it's sometimes it's. I mean, I've got my theories, right? But
mm,
I've said it before. You understand what I'm saying?
mm. Yeah.
But it looks very like that. You understand? Saying it's
Yeah.
so bad,
Mm,
and the reflection of it is so bad. But for me, being a Spurs fan, I've been harping on it for a while. And like I said, 2 weeks international break, we had to actually sit down and that memory of that kind of performance in the second half. That is actually not encouraging, right? But
Mm.
I don't know. We move on from that, right? The Spurs game. I want to hear your thoughts on this game because you guys have been having quite a bad run at the moment, right?
Mm.
And while going through this bad run, right? Of course, it's Ipswich, but I
Mm.
didn't watch the game. But kudos to you guys. You beat Ipswich 4-1 at home,
Mm.
right? It's a good thing, right? And what Mr. K says that what's the point, right? Subs again, players have dominated the first half, right? And has the
Mm.
point. Yeah, I understand. When during the game when we were up 2-0, I was doing a live virtual. I was asking whether we were comfortable or not.
Mm.
Do we feel confident or not? I didn't feel a bit of that too. The thing is, when I looked at the bench, right, we didn't have the players that we need. It wasn't. It was a very weak bench that we had, right? And West
Mm.
Ham, blood, yeah, Water and Polias. The West Ham thing coming. I'm just
Mm.
kidding. But okay, I
Mm.
want your thoughts on this
This game.
4-1 against Ipswich because Ipswich plays a very open game too, right? If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah, they do.
right? And
They do. Yeah.
yeah, and they gave you a lot of. I mean, it fell into. I mean, it's like a better quality team beat another better quality team, playing the
Yeah.
more or less the same football, right?
Yeah.
And it's more or less the reflection of the Brighton game and the Spurs game, right? It's like we're supposed to be better quality than Brighton, right? And
Mm.
we were up to zero, and somehow another day came back, right? Give me your thoughts because I didn't watch the Ipswich game, but I was happy
Mm.
for you, right? Number one is still Ipswich, right? A promoted team from the Championship. Give me
Mm.
your thoughts on that.
Um. To be honest, I mean, when the game was going to come up on, I think Saturday, um, I was a bit nervous because so much pressure on the manager because we came that I think that two weeks ago we were on the back of a 3-0 loss to Chelsea and a 5-1 loss to Liverpool, and we drew 1-all to Brentford. And those 2 weeks were quite, I wouldn't say depressing, but it was a bit disappointing, very disappointing because I expected, not to say a lot more, but I expected a bit more fight in terms of, you know, I wanted to see a bit more passion and I wanted to see a bit more fight in terms of the players when you go to, especially that Chelsea game, which sort of Lopetegui's tactics was not there, and I did not see any clear plan from the first half. I mean, from the first minute, and everything went out of out of the bin. I mean, it was complete like complete. The tactics were wrong from the start, and the game was, I think, completely written off. And then the Liverpool game, I think I already knew in my I think in my head I was delusional in a bit, but then I had to be realistic and say I think we were going to lose. So I was predicting a 3-1 win. And then when it was 5-1, I was like, okay, it's always typical West Ham to lose. The last time we lost 5-1 to Liverpool, Carabao Cup. This time also we lost. So yeah, it's normal for that. And then Brentford, I think we needed a point against Brentford. It's difficult to go, to those type of grounds, but we needed to get something at least for a boost of confidence. But look, that Ipswich game was important, Eugene, and yes, it's not been a good run of games, but I'm not saying it's let's be honest here. For the past few seasons, we have competed well, but I'm I want to see us play better football. Yes, we've had a good spell under Moyes last season. I mean, these past 4 years, and I've watched some good moments and I've enjoyed it. But at the same time, it's also not been pleasing at sometimes when we last season when we had disappointing games and all that. One of the
But,
most.
but Keshav, last
Mm.
season, right? When did Lopetegui come in? That's what my other question is. Did Lopetegui actually helm any of the matches against us? That's one thing. Because if I'm not mistaken, the previous 2 seasons when Moyes was in charge, right? You came to our stadium and you guys actually
Mm.
been getting good results at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. If I'm not
Mm.
mistaken, you were the first
Yes,
team to
that's right.
actually, you know,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
and
Um,
yeah. But
um,
for this, I think for you, this West Ham game against Ipswich, right? It's like a confident booster. It boosts up the morale. You guys not score one goals, 2 goals, but actually
Mm.
four. Right? It'll build up the confidence for Kudos,
Yes,
Bowen,
definitely yes. Yeah.
and that's how I see it. This
Definitely.
is a good stepping stone for you guys, right? But of
Mm.
course, we still have to take it into context, right? It's still Ipswich,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Because, yeah, yeah,
Yep, correct.
and of
And
course, we got Viva man. Good evening. Yeah, we got
good
Viva,
evening.
Viva in Hong Kong, right?
And just to reiterate, when I watched the game against Ipswich, I thought we played a lot better, much better from what I've seen. And bearing in mind it's a championship side, and they're quite poor, so I understand. But look, I think yes, it was a confidence booster. Much better from Kudos, much better from Bowen. Antonio looked much sharper on the ball. We had a lot of chances to score. Suchek looked very good. I mean, the whole team looked much more composed. And I think what I was impressed with is Todibo. Todibo looked quite good. He needed time to settle in, but I think after he didn't play in the first, I think 4 or 5 games, but I think Lopetegui started putting him against Liverpool. That was his first game, and then he started getting a bit better bit by bit every game. So the game against Ipswich, he played very well, defensively much better. So I hope this game he will start. Hopefully he can defend well from set pieces or one-on-one situations and all that. Because look, it's going to be tough. And my only worry for this game, right, Eugene, is that last season Moyes played more of a defensive way of football, right?
Yeah, I know more
He
counter
dropped
attacking.
five,
But for
five
the West,
back.
for the English game, I'm sure you watched the whole game, correct?
Mm.
Was it highline against highline? Was it an open game? And you guys took your chances, right? Who were the scorers in that game? I think Bowen scored one, right?
The first goal was Antonio to score. The second goal was Kudus. The third was Bowen, and then the last goal was Bakita. So,
Mm.
to be honest, Ipswich had chances. We actually I mean, pressed on their chances. I mean, we actually whenever the chances, whenever Ipswich passed the ball, we pressed on them. Whenever we had a corner, and they had a misled pass, we counted on that. So there were a lot of moments in the game which we could have scored, corners also or free kicks we could have scored. And we had the first half we played. I think, to be honest, we capitalized on a lot of chances they had, which was good. But Ipswich had chances. The Lab scored a brilliant goal, and I don't know why Pakita couldn't defend that. But anyways, never mind. But overall, Ipswich did quite well, but they weren't at the levels I would say they were when they played Villa. It's different, but credit to them, they tried, but unfortunately, it is what it is. But coming to this Spurs game, it's not going to be easy. Though,
Yeah, we'll
like I
come to the
said,
Spurs game soon. Yeah, we'll come
mm,
to the Spurs game.
mm,
Right.
mm,
Mr. K, yeah, sets place for West Ham, Mr. K. That's what
mm,
Mr. K is saying. But surprisingly, uh, for these first 7 games, right, we've not considered many goals from the set pieces, so I'm not too
yeah,
worried about that because
mm,
I changed the banner to the Tottenham Hotspurs Spurs game thing, right? And of course, Eva Man says can't watch the game tomorrow. She'll be out. Yep, Eva Man. I'm doing a watch along at the Mamak store, Eva Man, again tomorrow, right? I'm not sure whether I really asked Keshav whether he'll be able to join us, but I'm not sure because it's Saturday, right? So he's a young man.
yeah,
He needs to get he needs to get his groove out on Saturday, right? But if you are still up for it, I'll be there, right? I'll let you know where it is if you can just pop in. We'll do a
okay.
watch along, but
Mm,
let's see how that goes. But okay, we'll come to the Spurs and West Ham game now, right? This game, like I've been saying before, right? We have not done well in London derbies since Ange
mm,
has taken over, right?
mm,
And I think the stats don't look good on it because I don't think we've
mm,
won one London derby at the moment. You see,
yeah,
so that's the scary thing. So,
mm,
and we only drawn 2 and lost 5 or something like that. So,
mm,
the results don't look good. But of course, there's always Spurs at home, and of
yeah,
course, like you were saying, right, when Moyes
mm,
was in charge, you guys were more of a counter-attacking team,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And yeah, and I think the encounters between Moyes and Ange for the past, I mean, since it's been there since the past season
mm,
now, Moyes has gotten the better, results from it. So, uh, but we have tightened up a bit our defense. It's still our
mm,
defense, which I still feel, we don't focus much on that, right? So
mm,
that's one of our weak points, our Achilles heel. But of course, our attack is looking good now because we are scoring an average about 2 goals a game, right? But the problem is we can't defend. That's another thing. Uh, Based on quality wise, I think we are quite even to a certain extent,
mm.
right? We're quite balanced in it. But of course, like what you're saying, this is Lopetegui's actual first season in charge, right? And like you're saying that, he's still trying to get that gelling sense together for your squad and your team while you just came back from a 4-1 victory, But if that 4-1 victory, if the international break wasn't there, it most probably would have built a bit of momentum for you guys. But with the
Yes, yes,
break come,
definitely.
so it will throw a spanner into the works. So Lopetegui has to start all over again. And I feel that.
Mm,
And for being Spurs fan, from being 2-0 up at halftime and losing 3-2, right? That has actually not been a good feeling for us Spurs fans, right? For the 2 weeks that's been on this international
mm.
break. And of course, I'm not sure how many players have you had to travel overseas. And I think we didn't have much players this international break going over back to their home countries apart from I think it's
Um,
Romero. For me, I think for us it's Romero to Argentina, Bergwall to Sweden, and of course Taki to Sweden too. Son didn't travel, right? So there shouldn't be much excuse to say that a lot of players are tired. But we do have a worry because I think Deki is coming back late, so I'm not sure whether Dragozin will be put into that position. VDV played for Holland too, if I'm not mistaken, right? But for I'm not mistaken, even Papesa went to Senegal. We've got our international players all over the world. But at least uh, back. And there's a good news for Spurs is that Son is available, training again. Richarlison looks to be okay too, right? And of course, to say that Mr. Case is correct. If we had Sonny in that Brighton game, right, it might be a totally different outcome for the results. I feel that too. Maybe we all keep saying Sonny. A lot of Spurs fans say Sonny is not the type of captain that Spurs needs, right? So if Sonny was
mm,
there, maybe Sonny would have been able to rally us to either a win or keep us not to lose, or at least minimum a draw. But
mm.
for West Ham now, your injury problems, do you have any injury problems? Because I think for us, the only one out at the moment confirmed out is Odegaard, right?
Mm,
And Bergwall looks a bit suspicious. But
mm,
like they said, they're all training. Yeah, they're back all training at the moment. Even man says she saw that. But I think Odegaard is
mm,
still out. If I'm not mistaken. But
mm,
Bergwall is back too. So, but I don't know. I heard even I've been reading a bit of the news in online news and all that. They said Richarlison might still be having some niggles and might not be able to make it to the squad. But we'll see. We'll see. But
mm,
at the moment now, if we got Sonny and Solanke, I think that's enough for
mm,
our attack prowess, right? So, but
mm.
for West Ham now, uh, I don't think you have any injury issues. But your
We
players,
actually do.
the
We actually do have.
you do have
Uh,
right.
we do have one. Fulkrug is one. We've there's a, it's a very
But Fulkrug,
difficult
we haven't seen Fulkrug
problem.
for a long time, right?
He's been out for a month actually, but Lopetegui came out in his press conference saying he's going to be out for longer, which is not good actually because I was hoping he'll be back for this game because will be a great game for him to come back on, but unfortunately not. So it seems like he's going to miss Spurs and United, so it's not looking good. I think he has an Achilles heel, which is not good also. So I mean, he has this type of injury, so I think he had it. If I'm not mistaken, he had it at Dortmund. So I don't know. This is typical West Ham to say, lah. Eugene, typical, always a striking department for us has always been our problem. So I think we have to rely on Antonio again to deliver
Yeah,
our
but,
35-year-old striker.
yeah, but Keshav, right, and Antonio, right, has always been a thorn in Spurs' ass.
Mm,
He's the one that always comes out, right, and score that goal that actually
mm, yeah.
deflate our
Mm.
confidence and all that. He'll pop up. He won't be in the game for like 80 minutes or so, and all of a sudden he
Yes,
just
yes, yeah. Mm.
something like that. I've seen it many times, what Antonio does. But I mean, if you come to the point now, right? Did Paqueta go to Brazil? I don't think so. He wasn't even was he selected? right? I'm not sure whether he was selected,
Yeah, I think he
but
went to Brazil, but
he
you
didn't
know, with
play.
this, I, I look, I don't keep in track with the international,
Mm.
so I don't. But regarding Paqueta, right, and um, I don't know. You know, he doesn't. I can understand his situation, and you know, even if he gets banned, let's say we have to find West Ham have to find a solution, and you know, it does. Reports saying it doesn't look good, so we have to wait and see. But yeah,
Oh,
it's
you mean
not
the
looking
the
the
legal
ban.
case, right? The
I
betting
don't think it's
scenarios and
looking
all
good
that. Yeah, yeah.
because
But he's denied it, so
yeah.
he's still innocent
Mm,
until proven guilty.
mm.
But you did have players like Kudos going off to back
Yes,
to
yes,
Africa,
yeah, definitely, yes, yes.
and then
Yep.
Did Bowen join up with the England team? I don't
No,
think he was selected.
unfortunately, Lee Carsley didn't select him.
Yeah, Lee Carsley didn't
So
select. So
uh,
I'm not sure, but of course, Todibo and your other foreign players, right? Most of them did go back to their national teams and all that.
mm,
But based on that, the only thing you are afraid of now is that for your injury problems, you're looking at Hulkrug being injured, right? That's all.
yeah, but you see,
But you
Eugene,
still,
sorry to interrupt. The problem is, right, I don't want us to rely on a 35-year-old. I understand he's proven, don't get me wrong. But West Ham have relied on him for what? 4 years,
a
five
bit too
years?
long, a bit
Yeah,
too
way
long.
too long. And we've West Ham have spent quite a lot of money to fork out to get another striker like like Skamaka. The only last signing we've gotten right is probably Arnautovic, which was I think
I mean, out and out, yeah, out and out striker. Yeah, you're talking
2018,
about pure
19, I
number
think,
nine.
or I don't know, but he was very good back then. Proper
Yeah.
strike. I think Moyes turned him into from a winger to striker. He looked very good, but after that, Eugene, very our strikers have not. I don't use the word, but have been very poor.
Uh,
Saka is
I
not good.
understand. I
Mm,
understand what you're talking about, but the
mm,
thing is that if you want to compare, right, even like what's it, Somerville, right?
mm.
Uh, yeah, you got the new guy in Somerville. He's a good
Yeah,
winger,
yeah,
right? Somerville is a good winger.
mm,
Kudos is a good winger. You got
mm,
Bowen on the flanks too, right?
yeah,
And if I'm not mistaken, even if Antonio is not performing well, you can move even Bowen into the center to take over that position, right? So,
mm.
do you have any youngsters coming up to fill up the gaps and all that? That's my
I,
question.
to be honest, I wish West Ham would have used. I wish West Ham used our youngsters, but I don't
Yeah,
think
you
we're
guys
going
are, yeah,
to. We
right.
don't. We don't seem to take it seriously, which I don't like, because
Yeah.
we every West Ham fan would say we have one of the best youth academies, but we have
Mhm.
to use it right. So
But,
it's
but
important to use. Mm,
you guys have actually churned out quite a lot of good players in the recent years. You've got Declan Rice, right, coming up from the
yep, yep.
academy.
Mm.
Was Declan Rice from your academy or was he from
He, he he
Chelsea?
he was actually
He
from
came from,
Chelsea. Then he got
he jumped
released, I
over,
think,
right?
and moved to
Yeah,
us.
he
But he
moved in
went.
back.
Sorry to say, he went to the wrong went to the wrong club.
Mm, but he's gone over to Arsenal. But
Yep.
yeah, all the London teams who buy
Yeah.
the players. Yeah. But to tell
Mm,
the truth, right, even you're talking about youngsters, right? For us, we are looking at Mikey Moore,
mm,
Blackshear, right? And we've bought youngsters in too. We've got Archie Gray, right?
yeah.
Bergwall,
Yeah.
Odeberg is out, right? So that's a different thing. You're talking about coming up from the academy is another thing. You're talking about buying youngsters to be, uh, what
Mm,
we call turn into a superstar or a world
yeah.
class player, then that's a different level kind of thing.
Mm,
But at the moment in time, if we look at your team and okay, my first 11 is always going to be very fixed. If Vicario will be there, all right. Udogi
mm,
will be on the left, right. VDB will be left CB, right. CB will be either Dragozin or Romero, right. And on the right will be Poro, right. That's our
mm,
first five at the back. Then our five in front, in the middle at the moment now, Ange will still stick to Decky, Madison, right? And who's the next one? Decky, Madison, and he will
mm,
use Bentancur, right?
yeah. Mm,
Of course, Bentancur at the moment now is a weird thing is that he's being charged by the FA for as phobic, blah 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 thing. But then
mm,
the case has been more or less put on appeal or being prolonged. We still do not know whether he'll be punished or not. But I'll
mm,
still put him in there, right? Because he looks more like the number 6 for us now, the holding midfielder that we need,
mm,
right? And the front with Son back, of course, it'll be Son on the left, Solanke in the middle, and then of course it'll be Brandon Johnson on the right. Big up, Jose. Hope you're doing well. Right. Good evening to you. Right. Jose from LTL Cockerel, guys. Please go over to LTL Cockerel, give him a sub if you're not, right? But please do that. And of course, don't forget subscribe to Spurs Vision TV and share it, like it, right? Give me more watch time, guys. I need a bit more about 1,500 more watch hours to be monetized. Now they have to sell the channel already, bro. Right. But coming back to that, right? That is more or less our first 11, right? Bar if something happens from now until tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. UK time, which is about 7:30 p.m. Malaysian time. Right? What is your Lopetegui's main 11? Or he hasn't actually felt out his first team yet, or he's still trying to build it, right? Like you're saying, you got a full front, you have to use Antonio. Let's start from the back. Who's your goalkeeper at the moment?
I have to choose Ariola because he's our main goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Fabianski is our second choice. Then our defense. To be honest, after looking at our defense for the past two games, I think our defense. I think I'll stick to it, which is
What
Bisaka.
formation? What formation do you usually play? Actually,
We normally play 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, depends actually.
so it's he can
Four
he
two
can
three
he
one,
can
I think.
adapt, right? Yeah.
Mm. So my defense, I probably go with one Bisaka on the
Left
right.
on the right.
Left is
Okay.
Emerson, left back,
Emerson is still, okay. Your left back is Emerson, all right? Mm-hmm.
and then defense and the two centre backs I go with Kilman and Todibo because
Oh yeah, you
yeah,
guys bought Kilman, right? Okay,
yes,
fair,
Kilman.
fair. But Kilman has
So
always been being, at the moment, being quite criticized for his defensive skills and all that, right? Maybe the understanding between Todibo and Kilman hasn't built up yet, but maybe let's see what happens. All right. Then your middle will be a 4-2. Who's your two?
now, to be honest, I know a lot of West Ham fans don't like Thomas Suchek, but look, he's been very critical
Oh
of
yeah,
West Ham
honestly, yeah.
because as much as we don't see him as a technical player.
Actually, not critical. When I see Suchek is in that midfield, right? Your
Hmm.
your your squad looks a bit more gelled and a little bit more productive. You get what I'm saying? No?
But you see, the what I like about I feel Suchek should be more of an advanced forward. That means he progresses up the pitch rather than him defending. Because if he defends, if he's defending and you're having players who are fast to basically press on him, he's going to struggle. So if he comes on in the box and scores, I like that because you need someone like that. The clear examples against Crystal Palace where he scored a good goal, and then against Brentford, these are the kind of games where he he focuses on where we need a goal. Desperately need a goal. He's like our main target man to score. So I would say to play Suchek and Alvarez because
Alvarez.
yeah,
Okay, fair.
because Alvarez I
Okay,
think
we play 4-2, right? The two there. Okay, then
yes
the
too
three,
yeah.
Paqueta will be in the middle of the tree. Yeah, okay, fair.
Yes, Paqueta in the middle of the tree, Bowen on the
Mm-hmm.
right, Kudus on the left. I don't
Right.
really like Kudus on the left, but I think Lopetegui keeps playing him there because that's not his best position, or that's not his primary
What is
position.
actually his position, Kudos, then? Is he a
His
right winger or a
position
left
is a
winger?
no, his
What's
position is
that? Number
attacking
nine?
midfielder or a right winger.
But the problem is
Mm,
because you have to shoehorn
yes,
Bowen
correct.
on the
Yeah,
right.
that's the thing I
So
don't
you got to
like.
put what? But the thing is that
Mm,
I see for you, right, on your wings, you have excellent choices, If you don't use Kudos or Bowen, right, because you have a
mm,
switch, right, you can use Somerville.
yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Somerville is really impressive. You compare our left, right,
Mm,
our wingers, our wingers now, you're looking at who? I don't know, man. You're talking about Decky, right? And then you're
mm,
looking at Johnson, right? And then
mm,
after that, when you go on to the left side, we've got Wiener, right? And
mm,
Son there. And
mm,
then, of course, Odebear is there. And, of course,
mm,
a lot of people, Spurs fans, have been calling, right? Uh, they would rather have Mikey Moore, right, on either side if there is a need. But the problem is that, our youngsters are youngsters. So Let's see
Mm.
what happens there.
Yeah.
But for you because I've seen Somerville come out and play a couple of games. He's been impressive. He takes on his man. He beats his man. Right? He
Yes,
can
that's
put
what
in
I
a lot
like.
of balls. Yeah, that's what I like. But like you said
Mm.
now, Kudos being used on the left. It's not his preferred position, right? But
Mm.
he's that's why maybe did Moyes use him on the right more, or did Moyes use him
Yes,
like more?
yes, yes. He used him on the right more, and sometimes in during games last season, Bowen played up top, and
Ah,
Kudus was
yeah.
on the right. And
Okay.
Kudus, especially in the Europa League games, Kudus played very well. And when I think he played mostly also in the middle, he was very effective. So those are his proper positions, and he excels very well in that. But this season on the left, when Lopetegui puts him, I don't see him as very effective. But let's
Why
see.
why not why wouldn't okay, let's say now you have a choice, right? Because you're saying you don't have Fulcrum, right? And Bowen usually
Mm,
comes in as your striker, right? As a backup striker if you need
mm,
one. Why doesn't Lopetegui mix it up a bit? Start with Bowen as up top, right? Put back Kudos onto the right, bring on Somerville on the left.
yeah, that's also another choice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
so there's another split there because no matter how your Paqueta will always be at that
yes. Yeah.
cam thing, right? Yeah, he will
Mm,
always be at the cam thing. So he'll be the guy. But he is a good player. He's strong. I see that, and he has his talents. Being Brazilian, right? He has that vision and all that. But of course, like you're saying, like his personal problems and all that, will that
mm,
affect the game? Whether it will take it out of his concentration? Because I think this hot case thing is coming back up again, right? I think the charges are being brought up. I think he's being
mm,
charged for four charges and all that. Big
mm,
up, Ellie. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, right? So coming down to it, if you look at your bench, right,
mm,
do you feel you have got a better bench, or do you think Spurs has a better bench? Because I'll give you my bench, right? Because
mm,
in our bench now, to tell the truth, we've got a goalkeeper called Forster, right? And then you're looking at Sa and Bissouma, which
mm,
aren't attacking players, more holding midfielders and all that. But
mm,
Sa and Bissouma can take shots from outside the box. Okay.
mm,
And then if I look further down, we got no Odeberg. Then you get the youngsters coming in. We've got like Archie Gray, Bergwall, Mikey
mm,
Moore, right? And recently we've seen even to fill up the bench, Ange has thrown in Dorrington, who else? Lancashire, right?
mm,
And if Richarlison is fit, Richarlison will be there. That is more or less how our bench looks like. Your
mm.
bench, I think the only person I can think of is Somerville. Who else is there in
Okay,
bench?
so our bench probably will be if it's how many subs are seven, is it? Yeah, I think seven,
More or less
more or less.
7 or 6.
So Fabianski is definitely there. Then you have
Yeah.
Cresswell. You have
Oh, you Cresswell. Yeah, I forgot you guys have Cresswell too.
and then you have what's his name? Huh? I forgot his name. We bought who's that center center back? I thought. Oh, sorry, Kufal. And
Oh,
then we
Kufal is
have
still there. You guys
yeah.
haven't sold Kufal yet.
No, he's our second choice now.
Okay.
And then I forgot that centre back. I forgot. We bought Kilman, Todibo. I forgot the other one. Never mind. Then we have Somerville. We have Guilherme, the Brazilian winger
Mm-hmm.
that we brought in. And then we have Guido Rodriguez. And then probably Ings. So those are probably our
You got
subs.
Ings there? Ings is still there. Oh
Yeah,
my
he's still
gosh.
there.
All right, all right.
Mm,
Okay, Queen Ali saying Bissouma has to do a lot more than he's capable of bossing the midfield, but he's not consistent. That's the problem, and his discipline has to improve too. That's true. Yeah, Ali, I understand that. You see, like last season, our first 10 games, right? I saw a lot of passion and I saw a lot of hunger in the team, and of course, a lot of rash tackles coming from our midfield, right? And after that 10 game, right, it's like we all lost a certain fire in our belly. That's why now we're stuck with a very limpid or timid kind of a feeling that I have, right? But the thing is that when we boss a team, right, the only team play, the only teams that we boss are usually the lower level teams, right? And you know, being Spurs at the moment, we are playing the high line too. And at this moment in time, right, a lot of people are here
mm.
coming up with the tactics and all that. Do you think Lopetegui plays a high line too? Keshav?
Good question. How do I say? From what I've seen, I mean, from what I've seen before he came to West Ham, I watched a lot of Wolves games when he was there. He played a lot more. How do I say? He was a lot more on the. He was focused more on technical passing. That means like he was more focused on letting the technical players have the ball and allowing them to play the ball more often to the wingers. Like how do I say, more of tiki taka, I would probably call it,
Okay.
like more of balanced play of short passing. I would call it, take your time like that. But I think when he comes to West Ham, he said he wants to make sure that when we play at this, I remember he said this: when we play at home, we play more aggressively, but when we go away, we be more balanced and cautious. Which
Okay.
I'll probably say, okay, I agree on that. But when it's needed, like let's say a rivalry, let's see if it's an Arsenal or Tottenham, we have to go all out for it. Definitely, you have to go all out for it. So,
Well, come on, Keshav. Arsenal came to what to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and played and low
mm,
blocked us. You
yeah,
can say,
so
you
it
know. So
can
the
be
thing is
different
that
ways.
because the thing is that right, playing Spurs, right, the script is already there. You get what I'm saying? It's a simple game. Any
Mm,
manager with 2 cents have seen Spurs play, right? What they have to do is very simple. All you do, right, and especially if you're playing Spurs at home, but the only thing is that defensively you have to be very, very astute. You understand what I'm saying? And very
yeah,
strong, right? That's why when Brentford came and played us at
mm,
home, they scored first. When they sat back and low block, right? But they couldn't handle our attack, and they considered after 7 minutes, right? That's when I think Thomas Frank said
mm,
that we can't low block them because we don't have the what called the players or the skill to low block them,
yeah,
right? That's why we saw Brentford actually go out and attack us and actually gave us all that space
yeah,
to actually beat
correct.
them, right?
Mm,
But in that Brentford game at home, right, I was seeing Spurs low blocking Brentford in the end of the day. So that's why I said I was happy. That was, I've seen Ange changing his tactics. But whole and behold, right, after the Manchester United game, we go to Brighton, being 2-0 up, right?
mm,
Away from home. What he does,
mm,
he still plays the high line, he still plays that open football, right?
mm,
And
yeah,
the results is the results.
definitely, yeah.
So if
Um,
Lopetegui has done his homework, right, and they've seen how Moyes beat
mm,
us, right, he'll most probably take a few pages from there and try to do what he try to do. You know,
mm,
if you low block us and you become successful, and when Spurs, right, I'm a Spurs fan, I've seen we
mm,
become frustrated. And then remember last season I coined the term horseshoe football, where we go to the end,
mm,
come back, go back to the other end, we just go you and you and you, right?
mm,
That's how I
yeah,
coined the term horseshoe football, right? So if you guys can do that, that will frustrate us. But of course, we are supposedly this season we've improved because we've brought in Big Dom, right?
yeah,
But this season I've seen us play, right? We still don't play the ball. The wingers go down and over the top, like what you guys do a lot last when Moyes was in charge, right?
mm,
Antonio will be there
mm,
when Bowen, on the wings, clip
yeah,
one in, or Paqueta clips one in. There's a big guy there to hit the ball in or control or
mm,
shoot. See? But
yeah,
I haven't seen that with us, because what I've seen at the moment is that our wingers go down, we will cut back, knee height low, and Dominic Solanke will more or less tap in,
mm,
or it'll come in from the
yeah,
left, cut back in, right? Brendan Johnson there is will get the goals. So that's how I see it.
mm,
That's why I said simplicity sometimes is
yeah,
low block burst. If your defense can hold out, one ball over the top, right?
mm,
And with Romero thinking he's a number 6, then our fullbacks are inverted. Okay, my God, you'll be most likely 2-on-1 on VDV or something like that. You see?
mm,
But I'm
yeah,
not sure whether Lopetegui will do that. But at home, like you said, he'll be a bit more pragmatic, right? Away, you guys will be a bit more pragmatic. At home,
yeah,
you might have to come out and show that you have to go out and attack, right?
yeah,
But like you were saying earlier, your back line this season has actually totally revamped because you're talking about having Kilman and Todibo
Yeah.
centre backs. That is something new.
Mm.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's why it needs time to for understanding and gelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one thing. So that's why for all you, it's hard to say if Lopetegui goes there and
Mm.
low block, and within first 15 minutes or 30 minutes, right, we put two past you guys, right? Then most probably because Ange is at home, and this is a weird part, right? Ange at home, and then he starts to low block because he doesn't want to lose at home. You know what I'm saying? No, that's how I see
Mm.
it. So, and then we'll hit you on the counter or something like that. But if you can hold us off, you guys will have the upper hand. That's how I see it in this game.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
Queen Ellie says that someone has to get a hold of this and shake him up. Yeah, well, he's lost his way. Do you feel he's going down the Delhi Ali route, guys? Honestly, Ellie, uh, Bissouma is an older player, right? Because when Ali joined us, he was young and then he was distracted, right? I think when Bissouma joined us, he was already 25, right? And maybe Bissouma is not playing the way that Ange needs him to play, or maybe he doesn't suit the way that Ange needs him to play. That's how I see it. Oh, Keshav, yeah, Keshav has, I think he's got. You're still there, Keshav? No. So never mind. Since at this
Ah,
moment
yes.
in time,
Sorry.
yeah, I think Bissouma won't start. So he'll most probably come in as a sub unless there's some injury in that three between those three midfielders, right? But everyone deserves a chance. But the thing is that how attacking will Bissouma be? That's all. Right? Because during the Brighton game, we saw that, right? It was so weird. Ange didn't make any substitutions in the bloody 80th minute after we are 3-2 down. I mean, you can see the cracks are there, and you will have to start doing something about it, but he didn't. So it is what it is. And then he brought on Sar and Bissouma. That was even a weirder kind of thing, right? Why are you bringing on more defensive players while you're already 3-2 down? So it is what it is. But in the West Ham game now, I'm hoping, right, after the international break, right? Hey, Jose, yeah, Spanish speak. Yeah, Jose is here too. Uh, I'm hoping after the international break, we come back, we will bounce back from that Brighton game. That's my hope, right? And for you guys, is that West Ham after the international break, hopefully your momentum isn't broken, right? And based on history and records and all that, Spurs haven't been doing well in London derbies, right? So uh, honestly, you have quite a good chance to get something from us.
Yeah. Um, well, I hope we do, and I think it's I think with the momentum, I mean, I didn't want the international break to come, but it did come. But if we didn't have the international break, and if Spurs was after that Ipswich game, like let's say 1 week after that, then I think we have a chance. But I think, but the only worry is because now Son is back, Richarlison's back, and you have quite, I think, a lot of attacking players. Um, I'm a bit nervous in terms of how West Ham are going to cope with, especially Solanke, because he's very physical and very mobile. I don't know how West Ham will cope with it, but that's my worry.
Yeah,
Mm.
but how are you guys dealing with the pressing? Because Spurs at this moment in
Yeah.
time, we have this problem. You are a team of one half. When we come out in the first half, right, our press is there, the intensity is there,
Mm. Yeah.
we steal the ball back and we create chances in that kind of scenario.
Yeah.
How's your team going to be able to
Yeah.
call?
That is my worry. That's actually my worry because
Do you lose the ball a lot in
yes,
the press?
especially that Chelsea game. I think Chelsea. I don't know whether they pressed most of the time, but they did. We lost a lot of the ball against Chelsea when we played them. Man's and but look, we have to improve on that because the problem is what I realized from these past few games, we've not been good at playing off from the back. And what I realized is that our centre back Skillman, especially Skillman, he likes to do the long balls from to Bowen, and Bowen to
Mhm.
run with the ball. And Todibo's the one that will run with the ball forward. So
Ball
that is
carrier.
what I feel he might do. I don't think he's going to do play off from the back, which will make me feel a bit nervous. I think he's going to do more of a long ball, and that might suit us. But I think we need to try and, I don't know, be a bit more brave. I feel against Spurs, because I think there's a we can actually,
Yeah, but like I've been saying, right? If you low block us, right, and you've got Kilman
yeah,
who are able to put that ball, pull that ball over the top for Bowen to run into, or Kudos to run into, or Somerville to run into, right? That is a very good tactic for you guys. But let's say if you low block us, my focus now is that can Kilman and Todibo actually handle the wingers who are putting the
yeah,
balls in?
that is the
Because
thing.
you have, I'm not sure how good your defenders being headers of the ball. That's one thing I'm not sure. But to tell the truth, right? 2 seasons ago, we've been linked to Todibo too. We've been linked to Todibo for such a long time, and he ended up in
Mm.
West Ham. That was a big shock to us. He
Yeah,
could
yeah.
have gone. We thought maybe a Chelsea or one
Mm.
of the bigger teams to come get him, but in the end, he's at West Ham. Uh, he's quite highly rated, right? Because
Yeah.
I think you're getting him on a loan, right, with an option to permanently sign him or something.
Yes, yes, correct. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So that's why that's another thing, you see. So that's why we, being Spurs fans, we wonder why didn't we do that? Yes, right. So yeah, instead of that, we brought Archie Gray in, an 18-year-old boy, for 40 million pounds, right? And he's supposed to be a six, right? A center midfielder, a CDM or something like that, but he's being played long
Mm.
behind the ball, right? So that's why I keep
Mm.
telling a lot of Spurs fans who do YouTube, right? Please forget about Archie Gray being a CDM or a six or anything this season anywhere in the midfield, because I think Ange is using him as a more defensive player. Maybe it's part of his training, right, and understanding Ange ball and how to play it. And when next season comes, right, maybe we will buy two extra quality, hopefully, right, two quality defenders to actually help cover Romero, Dragozin, and of course VDV, right? Because and by then, hopefully, Ben Davis will be gone. He's still
Mm.
here,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
So that's why I say, why couldn't we have gone out and brought Todibo in as a loan,
Mm.
just in case if VDV gets injured, right? He can play, or
Mm.
maybe Todibo doesn't suit Ange ball, right? We need that speedy left center back or
Mm.
right center back to come in to cover our gaps that we leave behind. And okay,
Mm.
let's see what Queen Ellie says. Ange sends the wrong message to players sometimes, as just Spence scores a great tenacious and
Mm.
goal. Doesn't play him. Yep. Yep. And look at Visuda, Worldy versus Everton and then gets dropped bench too. Yep. I understand, Ellie. I understand. And sent a lot of mixed messages to the fans too. Like last season, he was saying what, why are Spurs fans like that, wanting us to lose to M City so Arsenal cannot win the title, right? And I want to build a winning mentality. That in the bloody Brighton pre-match interview, do you know what he said in the pre-match interview, Kesha? Have you ever actually
No,
heard
no,
a
I didn't hear. No, no.
like this, right? Because I think the reporter was asking something about Spurs and Brighton play more or less the same style. How would you adapt or change or to do that? You know what he said? He said, "Oh, just as long we play entertaining football, right? It doesn't matter, right? And if the results come, it will be good."
Mm.
I'm going like, what? Right? It's like you're telling us in advance, right? I'm going to throw the game, right? And, and the worst part is that after the loss, he said something like, "It doesn't matter. We weren't competitive enough. The results, even if we got something from it, we don't deserve it. So I don't want it." I was like, what?
Mm.
Right? While you're telling us to have a winning mentality, and all of a sudden you're telling us things like that, it blows my mind. You see? So that's why I call him. I tell you, I'm not edge in, I'm not edge out, right? I'm edge, I don't care, right? Because I'm leaving out. And to tell the truth, I see Ange being a hypocrite more and more, right? But I do give him one thing, right? Which is a fact,
Mm.
because he's been hounded by the reporters by saying that, oh,
Mm.
you always win things in your second season, right? And then when he steps back, that's the fact.
Mm.
But a lot of people do not see the other part of it. He does say, right, if this season he doesn't win anything with Spurs, right, he
Mm.
can't say that anymore. You get what I'm saying? Right.
Yep.
So, yep. Ange, please don't be shocked if you don't win anything with Spurs this season in your second season, because Jose Mourinho hasn't done it, right? Antonio Conte hasn't done it, so yeah, we would
Mm.
love for you to do it, right? And if you do it, right, you win the fan base over. It wouldn't matter how you do it, right? But when you come up with statements like that, it blows my mind. You understand? It totally blows my mind.
Mm.
So that's all I can say. But we come down to, do you want to do a combined 11 or anything like that?
Yeah, can.
All right.
Sure.
Goalkeeper Vicario. Okay.
Oh, oh, actually, this is a tough one. Actually, I don't know.
Okay.
Actually, I'll go with Ariel.
Both of them. Okay.
Mm.
Vicario is a very, very good shot stopper. We don't disagree with that, correct?
Mm. Yeah, yes.
Areola, good shot stopper too.
Yeah.
But you're talking about conceding amount of goals. Who has conceded more? Right? That's one thing. Then you come into set plays.
Mm.
Okay? Vicario sucks at corners, set pieces, and everything. We all know that, right? He
Yeah.
even demonstrated it during the
Yeah.
Italy game, which he took over Donnarumma. He flapped at
Mm.
his corner coming in, and it is what it
Mm.
is. Right? But still, Italy still won 4-1, right?
Mm.
So it doesn't. The score doesn't matter. So that's one negative for Vicario. How's Areola's set pieces and corner? I mean, being a goalkeeper in
Um,
those,
last
is
season
he
he was.
strong?
Last
Is he
season
strong?
he's good in shot stopping, but I think his goalkeeping, especially from corners, have not been good.
So
I
he
don't.
that means he's more or less the same level as Vicario, lah.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I would say so.
So
Yeah.
if I said I'll choose Vicario because based
Okay.
on the goals conceded against your goals conceded, all right. To be fair on that,
Mm. Yeah.
all right. Okay, so we'll take Vicario. All right. You go right wing.
You mean right back, not right wing?
Oh, sorry, right back. Yeah, right back.
Oh.
Who do you have right back? We've got Poro.
Oh. This is. I think I'll. Oh.
Yeah, you'll take Poro,
I
lah.
think this
Okay,
is
lah.
tough. Yeah, I think I'll probably put Poro.
Okay. Then we
Mm.
go right centre back. Romero against Kilman.
No, Kilman's left centre back.
Oh,
So right
Kilman's left
centre
back.
back
Romero against
Todibo,
Todibo.
but I
Okay.
put Todibo. Yeah, this one
You
is
take
Todibo.
Todibo.
Yeah.
Okay. I will follow you, Todibo, because Romero this past 7 games has been shit.
Mm.
You can say he's cost us a lot of goals, even though he's a World Cup winner and the blah blah blah, right? And
Mm.
I've seen a trend with Romero. It's a very frightening and sickening trend is that whenever the international break comes out, right, his heart is not with Spurs. His heart has flown away to Argentina. So
Mm.
I'll give you Todibo.
Mm.
Left centre back, you can't
Yeah,
beat
Van der
VDV,
Ven.
right? You can't beat VDV, all right? Left,
See, this is.
Emerson against Udogi.
Mm. Emerson has been good last season, but I do. I
He's
think I'll
been
put
off.
Udogi lah. I think I'll put.
You like
I'll put.
Udogi? To me,
I
this
like
season,
him.
Udogi has been a bit off, right?
Mm.
Somehow or another, I feel Udogi wasn't the Udogi from last season because last season Udogi, what I saw him when he gets the ball, right, he goes for it, you know. And maybe because the way Ange plays, because our fullbacks, our wingbacks, right, our inverts, so he goes missing whenever he inverts. He's not in his position when someone attacks. You get me? So, but that's Ange for the problem, lah. Okay, would it be a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3? Or we just go 4-3-3 simple, lah, because it's a
Can.
right. Midfield three. On the right, we got Decky. Middle, we got Madison. Sorry. On the right, we got Decky. On the left, we got Madison. In the middle, I think we got Benton Core. Right. So that three, who would you choose?
I think I'll probably go for my. This is tough. I think I'll go with Madison.
All right.
And I'll go with. I'll go
Madison,
with
Paqueta.
Madison, Paqueta, and Bentanco. Yeah, I'll go with those three.
Madison, not Decky.
No.
Not Decky. So you go with Madison.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. To tell you, I'll take Paqueta. Right. I will more or less a bit different from you. I'll have Paqueta as Bentoncourt's position. Right. Madison and Decky. That's how I see it. Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll come to the front three.
Actually, this is tough. This is tough. This one. because
Yeah,
there's a lot of
country is
options.
a bit tough. Yeah.
Um,
So before I go to front three, let's see what Ellie says. Ellie says Ash doesn't get the hate most fans have for Woolrich. Yep. Doesn't know, yep, the history. Yep, I understand. But Ellie, he cannot say he doesn't know the history, right? And that he got promotion, he has to understand that the rivalry, one point of he Ange doesn't he cannot say he doesn't understand the history of rivalry between teams because he's done Rangers and Celtic before. And Rangers and Celtic is one of the worst I've seen, right? Until the whenever the derby comes along, right? Celtic fans cannot go to Rangers, they'll close the away stand, because yeah, yeah, right. So it is what it is. But Ange should understand that. But that's why I'm saying he's so hypocritical. But I'll blame it on Levy too, because I think a lot of things that he says is all from the PR machine that he's read from a script, right? So it is what it is. Okay, front three: Son, Solanke, and Johnson.
mm.
You will be having Bowen,
Kudus and Anton Fulkrug are put.
but Fulcro is not playing, he's injured, bro.
Yeah, okay.
So
Antonio.
okay, you have to go Bowen, Antonio, Kudos.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So
No,
honestly, to tell
it's,
the truth, right, I would rather have Somerville for Son.
mm,
Yes, 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 but it is what it is. Yeah, being a
tough,
Spurs fan, I
right?
can't. Yeah,
No, it's very tough because I feel
because okay,
I feel
if you
wingers
want
are
to compare, yeah, the thing is that
mm,
if you want to compare Kudos with Son, while Kudos is not an actual left winger,
yeah.
compared to him, right? Okay, we go
Mm,
to the center lah. Okay,
yeah.
Antonio and Solanke.
No, I'll go for Solanke.
Okay,
Definitely.
Solanke. All right.
Mm,
And then we go to the left side. My God. Brennan Johnson he scored 7 in 7 now, So I can't take him away. We will have to give him his chance. Even Bowen. And to tell you the truth, if it was last season's Bowen,
mm,
it will be over. I'll throw Johnson away. But you're talking about this season's Bowen. Somehow or other, this season Bowen is a bit lost like that. He's a bit off, right?
yeah, yeah. Mm.
I don't know.
And
So
he's also the captain also, which is I don't know whether it's impacted.
this is weirder.
Mm.
The thing is that
But
last season Paqueta was the captain, right?
no, last season who was the captain? Zuma was the captain.
Oh, Zuma was the
Zuma.
captain.
Mm.
And the season before was Declan Rice, we know.
Yes, yes, yeah.
So now this season, Bowen is the captain, and he's somehow or another not performed. Maybe the captainship is a bit heavy on his shoulders. We do not know. But between Johnson and Bowen for this season, who would you take? Johnson has scored 6 in 6, bro.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go for Bowen here. Lah.
Bowen.
Gonna go for
You go for
Bowen.
Bowen. Okay, you go for Bowen. Hey, 6 in 6 also you don't want to take. Okay, you take Bowen. I gave it to you.
I take
Because
Bowen.
if you gave me Solanke, I'll give you Bowen. Okay.
Mm.
Now the big question: Kudos or
Mm.
Son? Uh,
But Son hasn't scored a lot, right, this season? That's the thing.
Son, I think you see, Son it's always been like that one.
Mm.
Even if he's carrying injury, he'll play.
Mm.
So I hopefully because I think he's about a month rest already, since that injury that he's had, and then he's carried on until even after the international break, right? I think he'll get back his form, right? I can't tell you, like I said, if it was Somerville against Son, I'll take Somerville.
Mm.
But you're talking about Kudos and Son because Kudos is not in his actual position,
Yeah. Mm.
right?
Understand.
So, and Son is I call a natural left player.
Yep. Yep.
And if he gets back his rhythm of going down the left, cutting back in and shoot,
Mm.
that is what he usually does. Son, we've seen Son do this, right?
Yeah.
Going down the left, cut back into the box, outside the edge of the box, and shoot. And he scored a lot of goals like that. If he does that again, right, then
Yeah.
But to me, I'll still take Son over Kudos at the moment. Right.
Yeah.
But he scored 2 goals, if I'm not mistaken, but he scored 2 goals against who like Everton.
Mm. I think so far we the combined excel with Vicario, Poro, Van der Ven, Odogi. I already put Bentanco and Madison,
Yeah,
and
and
then
Paqueta.
Yep. And then so yeah, I'm gonna go
Or you,
Kudus.
you will go Kudus, so you want Kudus, okay, like you can
Yeah.
pick Kudus if you want to.
Mm.
But for me, is that I will still have to be a a Son fan.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But more or less we can agree lah. The back four we agree.
Yeah.
The middle three is just
Mm.
only your choice of
Yeah.
Benton Core over Decky, but it's still a Spurs fan, Spurs
Mm.
player, right? I'll still take Decky and put Pateka and
Mm.
Paqueta in the middle, right?
Yeah.
The conundrum is the front three. Of course,
Mm.
we agree on Solanke, and of course, I'm saying Brennan Johnson is 6 for 6, 7 for 7, including the international game that he played, and he was suspended for the last one. He didn't play, so it's still 7 for 7. Biggest conundrum is between Son and Kudos. Uh, I'll give it to you. Since I'm going to give
Mm.
you some, I'll give it to you. Okay. Right.
Mm.
We'll come up with our combined 11. So
Yep. Mm.
that's our combined 11 for Spurs and West Ham. Right. Before we go to the next topic, right? Predictions.
I do. I got this very. I don't know whether sneaky feeling or what, but I think you might nick it lah. I don't know 2-1 or 2-1 West Ham or a draw. Either 2-2 or 3-3. I don't know.
Okay.
Like you know,
Okay.
like 3 seasons ago, West Ham like scored the last minute like that, 90th
Mm.
minute.
Antonio,
Uh,
Antonio again, right?
no, no, Lanzini scored that.
Oh, Lanzini. Oh, yeah. You're
That
talking
one.
about the Mourinho one.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That one we were
Mm.
up 3-0, right? And then
Yeah,
we just we collapsed after that. Yeah. But that
yeah,
was under Mourinho, and that was I think just after COVID or or before
yeah. I
COVID.
think I don't. I forgot.
I
Yeah,
think started during
but I
COVID
think
time.
I don't know. It's that for me. Either okay. I would say this: if Spurs are on form and they play very well, I'm gonna say 2-0, 2-1, or three
To
one.
Spurs.
Yeah, but if
For me,
them sit back or hold like low block and then we go on the counter like that, I think we win 2-1. I need to see the game to see it. That's why I feel I don't know. But
we
I'll
need
go
to
with
see
my
the
heart.
lineup also, lah, the truth. But
2-1.
yeah, we are just predicting the scoreline. Me being a Spurs fan, being at home. If I'm not mistaken, we haven't lost at home yet, right? In the 7 games, and we haven't been playing many home games at all. If I'm not mistaken. We beat we beat Everton 4-0 at home. We beat Brentford 3-1 at home. Okay, this year we only played 2 games at home. All right, that's a bit weird. That's all I can recall. Right, we have not lost at home yet, so I think at home Ange will be a bit more astute, a bit more what call careful, right? Because if you imagine if we go up 2-0 at home in the first half, and then we collapse like what we collapsed against Brighton, imagine what will happen to the fan base. You see, so for
Mm,
me, I will be looking at I'll say 4-2, like, the way we play. It'd be either a
mm,
4-2 or 3-2 kind of thing, like, or 3-1 kind of thing for
mm.
being at home. And
Okay.
we need to break that stupid zero, that duck egg, that chicken egg that we are holding against London in London derbies. Right. Before we go to the next topic, just read out what Ellie has written. Ellie says that we could have made Champions League. We beat blah Ellie, we know that was last season. Yeah. And of course, Ellie starting will be Vicario, Spence, Romero, Van de
Mm,
Ven. Oh, Spence over Porro. Yeah. You know what? You know why? Porro at the moment, right? His head is being turned because he's being scouted by, being taunted by Real Madrid.
mm.
Real
Yeah.
Madrid, Carvalho is out of this. I don't know how long Carvalho will be out for. He might even end his career, because he's already in his 30 plus, right? Early 30s or late
Mm,
20s, right? Then in the middle will be Benny. Yeah. Benny, Bliss, and Madison. No Decky. All right. Up front then you put Decky up front. Sonny Solanke. No Brennan. Eddie. Brennan is 7 for 7. We have to put Brennan in there, right? We have to put Brennan in there, 7 for 7, right? But that's Ellie's thoughts, right? Okay, guys, we'll move on. My prediction will be either a 4-2, 3-1, 3-2 Spurs win. Keshav thing, if they play a low block, most probably it will be a 2-1 West Ham
mm,
win.
mm,
But if they don't, then it might end up in a draw, 3-3,
mm.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says, oh, okay, Johnson side, Richie to come on. Okay, hopefully. Yeah. hopefully by then. Right. What about Bergwall and Archie Gray? Right? Why aren't they coming on? We need them to come on too. All right. I do not know whether you're an England fan or anything like that, but we
Mm,
just talk about this for a while. Huh?
yeah.
Tuchel as England manager.
Mm,
Walao eh. Sorry, lah, Manchester United. You can't sack Ten Hag now. Where's Ram? Huh?
mm,
Where's Ram? Lah? Okay. Ellie
uh,
says that. Ellie says what? Gray and Bergwell come on in last 10 minutes. Yeah, comfortable.
mm.
Hopefully they do. I'm not sure. Are you an England fan? Because for me, I'm an England fan, right?
I I do support England time to time, but I also support Croatia. I like Croatia also, so I do
Like,
support them also.
no, lah, because I'm basically an England fan because of
Uh,
my
but
upbringing and all that. Yeah,
mm,
so that means you choose whatever country you feel that way.
yeah, I choose. Yeah, I choose them. Mm,
Right.
so
Uh, my thoughts as Tuchel as England manager is a weird thing because he's taken up an 18-month contract. So I
mm,
guess he's he being there is to help England win
mm,
the World Cup, correct?
mm, yep.
Uh, and when you say pragmatic football,
Mm,
Tuchel is up there with Jose and Conte,
mm,
right?
yep.
But I think he has a slight better adaptability when it comes to the attacking side. That's how I see it.
Mm, yep.
Right? Yeah.
Mm,
And of course, oh no wonder Poro played twice for Spain and Spence is fresher. Yeah, yeah, and faster. We need his space. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, yeah. That's good. That's a good thing too, Ellie. That's why she's putting Spence into the right wing, right wing back position, the wing fullback position. Yeah. Uh, was I surprised Tuchel will get it? Maybe, right? Because after the Greece loss for Lee Carsley, I think he said himself, he really undermined himself, right? Because he was saying that, England
mm,
was
yep.
a world-class
Yeah.
manager. So that means once you say something like that, right, that means you're really
Yeah.
you're taking yourself off the list, right? And somehow or another, sometimes I think being an EPL fan, right, we always overrate the English players. And there's a
Mm,
sad thing about English players is, right, not enough of them play outside of the EPL. Right? We need more
mm,
English players to play outside EPL. We are starting to have a few, but the problem is that like last World Cup, right? The last Euros, I was scratching my head. Timori, right, a very good defender at AC Milan, right,
mm,
wasn't even brought into the squad as a defender.
mm,
So I don't know what Tuchel will do,
mm.
because
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
I will give kudos to Gareth Southgate because Gareth Southgate brought back the unity in the squad. Because you're not
Mm,
missing previously English players have too big egos, because
yeah.
at the time you had Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes, and all that, and then they play for
Mm,
different English Premier League teams.
yeah.
They can't leave that club ego behind, and they bring it to
Mm,
the country, and that's why they never gelled, they never, turned into a proper team. Southgate made a proper team, but I think in then his capabilities was only up to that level.
mm,
He didn't have the capability to adapt and change and do the right decisions properly because England should have actually won the Euros before the 2020 Euros, right,
mm,
in Wembley, right, while they already 1-0 up playing Italy. They got
mm.
outsmarted. What was it Mancini, right, was their manager
I
that
think
time.
so.
Yeah,
Mm,
Mancini outsmarted them,
yeah.
right, and in the end of the day, England lost, right, and of course and to tell the truth, this Euro Southgate, big up Paul Brown, right? This Euros, right? Southgate showed that he could only bring that squad of players that far, and the players he brought in was a bit weird either, right? So yeah, and
Mm,
they didn't gel well, they didn't play well, and somehow or another they still ended up in the final against Spain. And of course, he got a schooling from the Spanish manager, who was not even a world-class manager at that time. He was just the manager being promoted from the under 21s up to the Spanish men's team, right? So Tuchel coming
mm,
in, I guess as in England, there's been a lot of rumble because a lot of players have been saying, why bring another foreign manager in? Right? England
Mm,
manager should be English. But
mm,
me and you being Malaysian, right? We've had English managers, we've had Korean managers, we have Malaysian
yep,
managers, we've got Croatian managers, Brazilian managers.
yeah,
You know, it is what it is, right? But we are not,
mm,
being Malaysian, our football is not at that level, lah, right?
yeah,
So cannot compare, right? But
mm,
to me, is that I guess Tuchel will be given his chance, right? Because I think
mm,
Lee Carsley is still going to take the last two Nation Leagues thing. While he's taking over, most probably he will be in Lee Carsley's ear, right? Saying things to him, maybe I want you to bring in a few more other players to see how they gel. Because we always must remember football is more or less a team sport, right? A squad
mm,
sport, right? You need everyone to be there to play for each other, right? And not have opinions and egos come in the way, and fight for your country.
yep,
Because and the second part is that, of course, you play for your country, you don't get paid, is it?
mm,
Yeah. So I'll give him a chance. Let's see whether he can change. I don't know, man. Sitting down here now thinking about it, right? What kind of football will he be playing? Again, if
mm,
England really wanted a really, really attacking style of football, go and get Ange, bro.
mm,
Take Ange off our hands. Give Ange the England manager job. Hey, for all you know, 2 years' time, after the
mm,
2026 World Cup, if Tuchel fails, right, and Ange's
mm,
contract is coming to an end, he's not going to renew it. Most probably, Ange will take
mm,
over. You know, then you get
mm,
Ange more in the England squad, and then let's see what happens there. And for all you said, if we really do have all the attacking talents, right, it might work out.
yeah,
Yeah,
mm.
that's how I see it. And what's your thoughts on the England match? England
Uh,
match.
I get why they appointed him, but at the same time, I'm a bit uh not to say skeptical. I'm very like because I'm thinking to myself, look, England have like so many good players, right? Like
No,
Rice
that's
and
no. But
so
Keshav, the
many quality.
problem, no, the problem is that, right? Being an EPL fan, we always
Mm,
think England has got so many good players. Yes, yes, no.
mm,
We overrate the England players. You get what I'm saying? No?
yeah,
So they
yeah,
look good to a certain extent. Because you see, you bring in last Euros, Foden was MVP for the EPL, right? But it was
mm,
shit for England.
mm,
Yes, no. Maybe too many
yeah,
games along the way. I'm not sure. Well, they're tired, the fatigue. International football doesn't suit them. But will they be able, honestly, lah, to tell the truth, lah, I've been saying, lah, England is Spurs, lah. Yes, yes, no. Now the England FA is doing this, they've tried the project manager, which is Southgate, not working. So now they brought in a win now manager, right? Which is not to say they've not done before. They've done
mm,
that before too, right? They brought in Swen, they brought in Capello, right? I think
yeah,
the two, Swen and Capello, and it didn't work out too.
mm,
But now Tuchel, but they one thing they're smart because Tuchel gets an 18-month contract.
mm,
The only thing you better hope, right? England qualify for the World Cup.
mm, yeah,
But I think England will qualify for the World Cup because now the next
uh,
World Cup is being expanded to what, 40 teams or 42 teams or 46 teams or
is it?
48 teams or something like that. Yeah,
Mm,
it's a massive World Cup in 2026 now.
mm,
Yeah, yeah.
mm,
So, but I understand your feeling. You're undecided lah, basically.
mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because you see, I don't watch the international football, but a lot. But they got so many good players. But the problem is, like, it's going to be interesting because you see, especially right back, right? You got Trent there, and Tuchel's going to come in, and he might decide to play Reece James. I don't know. Let's see. Or you have left back who's Luke Shaw, and he might there's Chilwell there as well. So it's interesting. And you have
No,
so we don't know how is he going to play.
to tell the truth, he might have to bring in somebody new, right? Maybe there's some
Yeah.
new English players coming out. They're younger and all
Mm,
that, right, to fill those positions. Because you're talking about Luke Shaw, bro. Luke Shaw is like
mm,
you're going way back until
yeah.
even pre Southgate, bro. Yes, or not?
Mm,
There are a lot of players in the English team which are actually pre Southgate who are still there. Players like Harry Kane. That's one thing. But the problem is that you can't get rid of Harry Kane because
yeah.
Harry Kane will get you your goals, right? But the thing is that even Harry Kane, if you don't use him as a number 9, You can still put him
mm,
back as a false nine against, he still can ping those balls over the top and all
mm.
that accurately, right? But then you're looking at the back four. Who's the
Yeah.
English back four now? Maguire's going out. You're not going to use Maguire anymore. John Stones looks
Mm,
shaky, right?
mm,
Who's our strong defenders? Guehi. Guehi is the one coming up, right?
mm.
That's how
Maybe,
I see it.
maybe, maybe Tuchel should look at Tomori, bring in
Yeah,
Tomori, or bring in
Tomori should
Kilman
come
as
back.
well. Kilman also should come in. I don't know.
You can look at it. Yeah,
Some people-
they are players on it. That's what I'm saying. They're not.
Mm,
Oh, please don't bring back Eric Dyer. That's one thing I got to say, right? Yeah. You can bring back Kane, but don't bring back Eric Dyer, right? Because this season, I don't think company
mm.
is even actually playing Eric Dyer.
Yeah,
Eric Dyer has fallen off. Oh dear. Tuchel was playing with Eric Dyer in
mm.
Bayern Munich. Oh dear. Ah shit, man. Guys, don't be surprised, right? Eric Dyer will be back in the England squad in November. Oh, guys. Oh
No,
dear.
what would be more interesting is to see him work at Pickford because it's
No, you have to get rid of Pickford too,
yeah,
right? You have to change that. But the
yeah.
problem is that England at this moment in time, who is the young and upcoming goalkeepers? Henderson,
No,
Johnston,
no, Henderson is
Ramsdale. No, I'm talking about coming up, lah. You got English goalkeepers. You don't want to talk about Nick Pope,
yeah,
Nick Pope, Foster, and who else? The Pickford, because these are all in their
yeah.
30s. You're talking about in their 20s. You're talking about Ramsdale, Henderson,
Henderson,
Johnston. Yeah, these three will
Johnston,
it go
yeah.
with them because. And the weird part is nowadays, right? This
Mm,
playing out of the back thing, right? Is I don't know, like everybody is doing it, right? But you must have the quality players to do it, right? To be able to beat
mm,
the best, right? To give the accurate passing either over the top or through on the ground, right? So
yep.
the quality should be
Mm,
there, right? But then don't forget, on the attacking side, there are a lot of young coming up. Cole Palmer is interesting.
yeah.
You can right? Right.
Mm,
Cool powers interesting. But guys, before I end the show, I'm going to say please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, Spurs Vision TV.
yep.
We're on the road to 550 subscribers. I would love to get 1,000, right? Hopefully as soon as possible. I need more watch hours. Thanks for staying on with me, guys, for this 1 hour. Big up the Queen Ellie. Who else have we got? Mr. K. We got Mr. K, Jose, Mr. K, Eva. Big up to all you guys. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you enjoyed the show with me and Kesha. Today, I didn't bring on a lot of people because I just want to keep it short and sweet, right? And then, of course, Keshav is a Malaysian West Ham fan. I'm not sure what other YouTube channels he follows on following West Ham, right? But guys,
No, I do.
thanks.
I do follow a few. I do follow quite a lot.
Yeah,
So I know.
yeah, quite a lot, right?
Yeah.
So thanks for the support, guys, right? And any last words before we end the show, Keshav?
Let's hope for a good game, but it'd be interesting to see, lah. Interesting. I hope. Let's hope. I don't.
Okay.
I don't need to be
Yeah,
a boring
yeah,
game. I really hope.
yeah, no, not to forget Paul Brown too. Big up to Paul Brown. Yeah, not to forget
Mm.
Paul Brown. So tomorrow Saturday, not joining me in Mama Store.
No, I don't think I'll be.
Okay, all right.
Mm.
Anyway, because the Mama Store usually is only all Spurs fans there, right? If you do
Ah,
come up, right, yeah. Okay, Zion Mountain. Right, big up to you too. Big up to you too. Hope you're doing well. Right, guys, thanks for being here. Subscribe, like, share, right? All the good things, right? And as always, BB out. Hold on, let me